David Hockney. David Hockney, an artist at the top of his game, probably the most famous artist in Britain today. And Britain, as you know, has a long and illustrious history of famous artistes in all the various disciplines. But David Hockney, lauded by some as a genius, lauded by others as different things, but you cannot deny he has been a major force in the British art industry. Now, why am I talking all this nonsense? Well, David Hockney has become part of the news recently. I know, who'd have thunk it? Why? That's the question. Well, let's have a little look, shall we? Yes, folks, we are talking about Great Britain, that sceptred isle, that bastion of the great enlightenment, great leaps forward in all the arts and sciences. Home to such venerated artists as Turner, or, say, Constable. Works of genius. Beautiful works, aesthetic works, pleasing works. And now in the modern age, they have their own modern latent genius in David Hockney, following on from this great line of venerated men. And Hockney has been commissioned by Sadiq Kahn, Mayor of London, recently re-elected, and they are updating or reimagining a lot of the art and signage around London's various hotspots and transportation hubs and various public places, part of which is the London Underground, which you'll all know and love and probably have even travelled on, which has its iconic signage, and now they want to change that signage, and they have commissioned no other than the famous, the illustrious, the venerated David Hockney to come up with a modern, with a new vibrant design for a new generation. The man is in his late 80s, but for a new generation, to look at it anew, to look at it afresh, and hot off the heels of works, as I say, like this and like this. What do we have from David Hockney? Well, feast your eyes, behold the genius.
You serious?
Yes, indeed, folks. It is very serious. This is not a piss take. This is real. This is real life here, folks. So we had immediately hot on the heels of that some very great encouragement from the Mayor of London, Sadiq Kahn, who tweeted out brilliant work from David Hockney in Piccadilly. The first of a series of major art projects we've commissioned as part of our brand new Let's Do London campaign. Lots more to come, and very soon. Hashtag David Hockney. This was immediately followed by, of course, London humorist, very famous London wit, and that was immediately followed by an answer from Specsavers, at Specsavers, see me. Okay, so that didn't go down too well, but that was only just the beginning. Oh, there's more. There's lots more. Sometimes a gift just keeps on giving. This is one such gift. So, of course, there was quite a bit of kerfuffle over this and a lot of articles getting bandied about. So let's have a look at this one from ArtNet News. Don't read it myself. I probably should. Maybe I'm just not arty enough. ArtNet News says, who's this? Taylor Defoe. The internet is mercilessly mocking David Hockney for phoning in his childish new design for the London Underground. Quote, if you had said this was a children's competition to redesign the logo and this was the winner, I'd have believed it, wrote one user. Yeah, I can see where he's coming from there. And there we are, there's the work of genius. You can see he's done with the S there. It's very, very artful. They go on to say, this is another wag. Hey, David Hockney, a 4-year-old called. He wants his subway art back. Or so went many a Twitter joke over the last 24 hours after the Mayor of London unveiled a new design for the city's Piccadilly Circus Underground station, created by the venerable British artist. I don't know if he's looked on as quite as venerable now. A jejune design that recalls Windows 98 era of Microsoft Paint. Hockney's interpretation of the iconic London Tube logo boasts a malformed highlighter yellow O and a station name board the colour of everyone's favourite purple dinosaur. Yeah, good old Barney. How we miss him. The artist even ran out of space for the words Piccadilly Circus, cramming in a rogue S below. The design, London Mayor Sadiq Kahn explained in a tweet, is a product of the city's new £7 million Let's Do London, quote, domestic tourist campaign. He called Hockney's illustration, quote, brilliant work. Specsavers didn't seem to see it that way. The rest of the world, meanwhile, did not agree. Social media users quickly took Hockney's design to task, lampooning the 83-year-old artist like Chevy Chase on vacation. And you see Sadiq Khan's, there he is, his encouraging tweet, all full of lavish praise. Quote, if you had said this was a children's competition to redesign the logo and this was the winner, I'd have believed it, wrote one user. Quote, all artists are prepared to suffer for their work, added another. It's a real shame that David Hockney expects the rest of us to effing suffer on his behalf. Oh, spicy stuff there. A common complaint was the fact that Hockney, the country's most famous, if overexposed artist, got the gig in the first place. Quote, it's a shame London isn't packed with creative artists who've had a really rough year and could have used both the money and the exposure this would provide, whilst also being a brilliant showcase for the city's diversity, pride and passion, concluded one commenter. To be fair, Hockney reportedly made the illustration for free. You don't say. And no one actually thinks he forgot to leave room for the S. In reality, he probably made the piece on his iPad, perhaps between rounds of Fruit Ninja, one hand on the tablet, the other pinching a lit cigarette. He was likely trying to instill in the design the same sense of childlike hope that has underscored much of his recent work, such as his 116 new spring-themed iPad paintings, opening this month at London's Royal Academy of Arts. Still, as far as the London universe of criticism was concerned, the conclusion was clear. The artist phoned it in. So, yes, that seems to be the sentiment of a lot of the articles that I've spotted on this. And it doesn't stop there because, as I said, some gifts just keep on giving. So we had some waggery going on the Twitter sphere as people chimed in, all eager to give their own unique artistic takes on the whole issue. And let's have a look at a few of them now. So, as you can see, somebody who styles themselves Notorious Nat, or N-A-T, not sure. Replying to Mayor of London, if you think that's good, wait till you get a load of Paddington. So you can see here there's a rather ingenious, it's Hockney-esque reimagining of perhaps the Paddington station. You can see he's got the little Paddington bear there. That's all very, very artful. Yep, yeah, that's a good start. Okay, so what have we got next for you? Okay, so what we've got here is what looks like onion ring with the S dropped, of course, Hockney-esque in its imagining, onion rings. All right, so I'm not sure if that's an actual underground station, but still very much in keeping with the upbeat playful theme there. All right, another good wag version on the take. A possible contender for another station, perhaps. And they'd probably do it pro bono, like Hockney. I don't think they'd charge for that. George Tuckley. We have his take. He tweets to Sadiq, Kahn at Mayor of London. I would like to submit my art for consideration. As you can see here, he's got tube. Very, yes. Well, it's again Hockney-esque. It's playful. It's I like that one. Tube. Yeah, I definitely should be considered. I would have that high on the list. From George Tuckley. Greer Riddell. She's taken another famous London Underground station and she's reimagined it a la Hockney. Can't wait for the full rollout, she tweets, replying to at Mayor of London. We've got her particular take on Cockfosters. That is an actual station, by the way. And again, you've got you kind of see where she's going with that. We got the S drop there again. Very. You see, Hockney, David Hockney, what you've started here. You've started an avalanche, and now some things once they get rolling, you can't stop them. So Cockfosters, a possible reimagining there, and again, I would imagine that Greer Riddell would be happy to submit that particular take for no fee, pro bono, as they say. There's another Hockney-esque reimagining from a Twitter user of Oxford Street. You can see there, it's very, once again, Hockney-esque. It's a la. It's very something. You know, if your 5-year-old child come home with that after school, you just say, that's a good effort. Well done. So Oxford Street, possibly, yes, in with a shot, I would say. We've got another one here from Rick Burren. Rick Burren writes again, replying to at Mayor of London, Sadiq Kahn, and that's his imagining of Leicester Square. Yeah, that's, again, you see David Hockney, you see when you go down this road, you see when you go I can't argue with it. I mean, what's the lie here? What's the difference here? Leicester Square. It's just the same. Probably took just as long to do.
I've got morons on my team.
And here we've got one of my particular favourites from Technically Ron, at Technically Ron. I'm not sure what his technical skills are, but he's certainly a bit of a wag into the bargain. He tweets, this is a bit of a piss take here on the whole commissioning exercise. Quote, David, we need the artwork for the tube. Quote, the what? The posters you said you'd make for the TFL. Oh fuck. David, give me 5 minutes, but 5 minutes, I just need to finish it. Just need to finish it. like he forgot all about it till 5 minutes before it was due, and he just fucking threw this thing together. Pressed send. Oh god, yeah, classic. You have Richard Litter, again at Richard Littler, replying to at Mayor of London, and his take is piss takey, with the dropped pound sign there. Okay, you see where he's going with that one, and he's scrubbed out David Hockney and written his own name, because, well, it's all art, isn't it? Another wag, Lee Madgwick, or Magic. Not sure what way you go with that one. Marketing campaign manager. Hello, Mr. Hockney. As part of the Let's Do London campaign, we'd very much like to commiss David Hockney. Finished. You know, this is the best part of these things. It's the humour, it's the wit that springs forth, the wit that springs from this stale well of staleness, and all of a sudden a great fresh spring of vitality comes forth. All right, so Adrian Bott, what's he got to say for himself? Right, Hennymore. This is the priceless artwork by esteemed artist David Hockney that needs to go up in the tube stations. And this is the Blue Peter competition entry by 7-year-old David Hockney of Clapham that needs to be featured on CBB. Do not mess this up. Dude, you kind of get you get the joke. Good man, Adrian. Well, Adrian Bott, do not mess this up. Meanwhile, the BBC. Do not mess this. And here's the result. Count Binface. It's okay, everyone. Fixed it. He's just moved the S back into place. That's the problem. Oh, Christ. Anyway, all I can say is, David Hockney, you're some man for one man, and you've certainly given us all a good laugh. And boy, God, we needed one this year. So, fair, but that's actually, I think he started something that's even more funny than, I'd say, 99% of BBC comedy at the moment. So, fair dues, you know. Can't take it away from him. I'm not sure about the art, though, but you could certainly make it in comedy. I'll give you that. So there you go, folks. When does modern art just tip over that precipice and become absolutely and utterly ridiculous? And have we reached that moment, or did we reach that moment years and years ago? Not for me to say. Art is subjective and all that stuff. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Yes, David Hockney, one of Britain's best.